Welcome to Love by Design, the podcast for high-achieving women who are ready to stop performing for love and start building it from truth, from alignment. Because you don't attract what you want, you attract what you be. Let's begin. Welcome back to Love by Design. This is Joan. So today I want to talk about the body versus the mind when it comes to dating and choosing partners. So you have a list, or you probably do. Even if it's not a written list, most of us have a mental list of what we want in a partner. And it could sound something like this. For women, it could sound like ambitious. He's a provider. He takes charge. He's emotionally available. For a man, it could sound like she's nurturing. She's peaceful, no drama, family-oriented, driven but balanced, right? And you've probably built that list quite carefully. Maybe after therapy, maybe after a heartbreak, maybe after reading all the right books and doing all the right work. And the dating apps will ask for your list. What do you want? Matchmakers will ask for your list and help you refine it. Coaches will help you protect that list. This is what you really, really want. But here is what nobody is asking. Where did that list actually come from? And is it really telling you what you need? Or is it telling you what you learned to want? Because those two things are not the same. So here's the question that every dating solution today asks. The dating apps are asking, what are you looking for? The matchmaker is asking you, describe your ideal partner. Your coaches are saying, what are your non-negotiables? And you answer confidently, specifically from this list. But here's what's actually happening when you answer those questions. You are answering from your mind. And here's the kicker. The mind is not always telling the truth. Sometimes it answers from hope. Oh, I'm ready for this now. Sometimes it answers from fear. Oh, I just need someone who is stable so I never feel that way again. Sometimes it's answering from conditioning. So this is the version of you that knows what a good partner is supposed to look like. And sometimes it's just repeating what sounds right, what sounds evolved, what sounds like someone who has done the work, while your body quietly keeps making different choices. So let's look at this list quite honestly. Provider, ambitious, takes charge, decisive, nurturing, caring, emotionally available, masculine energy, feminine energy, peaceful, no drama, spiritual but grounded, adventurous but stable. These are not bad qualities to want. But every single item on that list came from somewhere. And some of it came from conditioning. Some of them are what your parents modeled. Some of them you caught it in a movie. Some of it is what society said a successful relationship looks like. And some of it came from your wounds. What you didn't have in the last relationship, what you lost, what you swore you never go without again. Some of that has driven what you now have in your list. And a lot of it actually comes from fear. So it's what you think will keep you safe this time. What will prevent the same thing that broke you before from breaking you again. That list describes a type. It does not describe alignment. You can find every single quality on that list in one person, hopefully, and still feel completely alone inside the relationship because the list was built by your mind, and your mind was working from the wrong data. So here's what I see again and again. A woman who can articulate exactly what she wants and keeps choosing something that doesn't match the description. You say you want emotional availability, and yet feel inexplicably pulled towards the one who texts inconsistently. You say you want peace, but yet you keep confusing activation for chemistry. You say you're ready for love, and yet your body is constantly contracting the moment intimacy starts to become real. Well, that's not a character flaw. That is your nervous system doing what nervous systems do. You are seeking the familiar. And here's the thing about familiar. Familiar is not the same as healthy. Familiar is what your system learned to recognize as normal. If your system grew up in uncertainty, then uncertainty feels like home. If your system learned that love comes with conditions, guess what? Unconditional love starts to feel suspicious. If your system learned to earn connection, someone who simply offers it feels flat, it feels unearned, it feels too easy. There's got to be something wrong. So you overlook the safe one and feel electric around the one who activates your oldest wound. And then we turn around and call it chemistry. So I want to talk about activation versus chemistry because this distinction matters more than almost anything else that I teach. Activation feels like chemistry. So it's the butterflies in the belly. It's the electricity. It's the I can't stop thinking about them. Morning, afternoon, night. They're constantly on my mind. But activation is your nervous system recognizing a familiar pattern, not necessarily a healthy one, a familiar one. The person who mirrors your wound will feel like the most exciting person in the room. The person who is genuinely safe will sometimes feel quiet, will feel still, almost unremarkable at first, because your system doesn't recognize safety as exciting. It recognizes safety as unfamiliar, and unfamiliar can feel like it's the wrong person, when it might actually be the right one for you. That is why the body needs education, not just the mind. So here is what your nervous system actually needs. This is where human design changes everything, because human design doesn't ask what you prefer. Human design reveals what your system actually needs at the level of energy. And that is a completely different question. So most dating frameworks work with your personality, your values, your preferences. No, human design works with energetic architecture. It is how you are actually wired to give and receive love, not the conditional version, the real one. So the list that your mind builds is all about traits. Human design speaks to needs at the level of energy. And when you understand your energetic needs, then you naturally stop choosing from the conditioned list and you start choosing from your actual true design. So what does that look like when you now embody what your design actually is? Well, it will no longer be questions like, what do I think I want? The question becomes deeper. It becomes, what does my nervous system keep choosing? And is it aligned with the future I say I want? The gap between those two questions is where the real work lives. And closing it is not about thinking harder. We don't want the mind. It's not about refining the list. It's about learning how to listen to what the body already knows and understanding the energetic design beneath the pattern so that you can stop choosing from conditioning and you can start choosing from clarity. So the next time a dating app asks you to describe your ideal partner, I want you to pause before you answer from that mental list that you have. I want you to ask a different question. Is this what I was taught to want, whether it's from my parents, from the movies, from my religion, from social media? Or is this what my soul actually needs? Because when you love by design, it doesn't start with finding the right person. It starts with understanding your own design well enough to be able to recognize them. So go ahead and download your Lovegate report so that you can start to understand how you are uniquely wired for love so that you can choose the right partner, not from a mental list, but actually from your energetic design, because that is where true aligned partnership lives. Thank you for joining me on today's episode. And if it stirred something in you, trust that alignment isn't a concept, it is a calling. And if you're feeling the nudge to take this work deeper, then I want you to go ahead and book your Aligned Love Assessment, where we map your patterns, reveal what's keeping you stuck, and explore your journey to aligned love. You can book your session at joannwosu.com. Until next time, remember, you're not here to earn love, you're here to embody it. So keep dating by design, not by default. See you next week.